Well, good afternoon and welcome back to the Mass Premier Courts here in Foxborough, Massachusetts. Mike Mancuso alongside Chris Desano as we get set for the New England AAU Super Regional Championship game for the 11th graders. It should be a good one as we have the Mass Bulls taking on Mass Premier Elite, and we've seen so much good talent here throughout the tournament. We just saw the 10th grade championship in which BABC was able to dominate Metro Heat. But this one could be a little bit closer here this afternoon.
Yeah, this should be a great basketball game this afternoon. Both of these teams, have a penchant for just their overall program, winning, just winning programs with talented players. We're in an evaluation weekend right now for NCAA basketball, so we've had coaches milling around, and it should be some great talent and basketball on display here in this 11th grade championship.
So we've got the Mass Bulls. They'll be wearing the red jerseys with white numerals here this afternoon in the championship game. Starting lineup for them includes number 17, William Cuffey, number 11, Tanner Gibson, number 22, Devontae McCall, number 24, Jesse Molin, and number 15, Kevin Simons. They all play for head coach Ken Chasen. And for the Mass Premier Elite team, wearing the white with blue numerals today, number 11, Brandon Nigro, number 25, Dylan Reno, number 23, Ryan Bolter, number 42, Marcus Geis, and number 21, Frank Oftering represent the starting lineup for head coach Michael Vaughn. Both these teams won 3 games to make it to this championship game, and less than an hour ago they finished their semifinal games as Mass Premier Elite was able to take down the Greater Boston team, and the Mass Bulls able to take out Elite Potential. So not a lot of rest for these guys here this afternoon, as just having played the semifinal less than an hour ago, now suiting up for this championship game.
Rapid fire.
In Foxborough.
Rapid fire, and we saw the Mass Bulls right here in front of us. They happened to be playing on the semifinal court. They really look strong.
Yeah, we saw some really strong play out of Brandon Chasen earlier today for this Mass Bulls team. And apparently he is in the starting lineup now, so a little bit of a minor change there. And that's how these things go at these AAU tournaments, lots of last-minute changes, but really a lot of credit to the coaches and organizers for keeping this thing on time, on schedule. As that attempt there from Kevin Simons was denied by the big man, Marcus Geis. Geis listed at 6'7" out of Franklin High School. Perimeter shot coming up and good. That one drained from downtown. Frank Oftering, the 6'3" product out of Bishop Fien.
Yeah, he can do it from inside and out. You saw the outside skill set on display, rising it up, knocking it down.
McCall trying to work his way on the baseline. Steps on the end line, and it'll go down as a turnover on the Bulls. Mass Premier now. Bring it up through Nigro. Nigro plays for LaSalle Academy in the Rhode Island Interscholastic League. And another perimeter shot, this time hit by Dylan Reno, 6-foot player out of Franklin. Spin move, 3 to the lane, and that one denied as Jesse Molin tried to work his way in, but running into the big presence of Marcus Geis.
Yeah, and there on one end of the court, you see Nigro distributing. On the other end of the court here, funneling that offensive player back into the help, didn't get beat baseline, forced him back middle, where his teammate, a waiting shot blocker, was there.
So Chasen trying to work his way on the far side that time. Was fouled by Dylan Reno. So they'll stay with the Bulls. Bulls down early here, 6-0 on 2 3-pointers for a Mass Premier Elite. Chasen gets a head full of steam off the glass, no good. Key rebound though, collected though by Molin. Molin now trying to find the seam up and can't get it to fall. That rebound from Bolter. Nigro quickly ahead. Perimeter shot again. That one will not go for Reno. As the Bulls come back the other way. Pulling up from long range, unable to hit was Jesse Molin. Long rebound goes out to Oftering. Skip pass into the corner, now back on the outside. Quick ball movement here on the perimeter. And another 3 ball. That one will not go for Bolter. And it really seems like Mass Premier Elite, all they want to do is shoot 3s out there so far.
They are a very
kind of interesting because they have a lot of guys that could fill up some inside presence there.
Yeah, they've got size, but they are a very proficient three-point shooting team. And if the 3s are open with the feet set, I know their coach has no problem with that. They'll shoot them in transition. They'll shoot them in the half court.
Oh, nifty little pass from Nigro that time. And Now whipped to the corner, but airmailed over the head of Dylan Reno. It'll go down as a turnover on Mass Premier. So it'll be inbounded on the near side. Inbounding duties fall to Devontae McCall. 6'5" player out of Amherst Regional. Tanner Gibson now will back it out towards center court. Trying to get a step on Bolter. Forces up a tough shot in between two giants, and I think getting a piece of it again was Geis. Geis on the other end, able to finish with the unconventional jam.
Yeah, unconventional, absolutely. Nice throw ahead by Nigro, finding his teammate in stride for the easy deuce.
So Geis getting it done on both ends of the floor for Mass Premier. Another turnover. Quickly ahead, Reno takes it strong to the hole, gets fouled from behind. It's either going to go on Chasen or McCall.
And this game, Mike, has sort of begun like the 10th grade game that we saw, where right now the Mass Bulls just struggling to try to get into any type of rhythm on the offensive side of the ball. A few costly turnovers led to runouts for Mass Premier, which has built an early 8-0 lead.
So timeout taken on the floor. We'll take one too with Mass Premier out on top. 8-0 early on here in the 11th grade championship game on Cox Sports. And welcome back to Mass Premier Courts. Mike Mancuso alongside Chris Desano. Mass Premier on top 8-0. Let's take a look at how they got there.
Yeah, they've been running. As we see right here, Nigro ahead of the pack to an open teammate. The dunk doesn't go, but the layup falls. And then also unselfishness, as we've seen throughout the early going, finding teammates, cutters, kickouts, and then knockdowns from the outside.
Their semifinal games less than an hour ago. Mass Premier now out on top 10-0 thanks to those two free throws from Dylan Reno. So the Bulls need to find a way to get their offense going here in the second half. They were able to put up 64 points against Elite Potential in the semifinals, but have yet to eliminate that goose egg as they have another turnover on a sloppy pass underneath the hoop. Here's Nigro in transition, leaves it outside for Oftering. Now the three ball won't go for Bolter, and Chasen able to haul it in. Chasen, with a very determined look on his face. Gets himself out of trouble. Leaves it for Mullen, his co-captain. On the inside, strong move denied that time as Simons tried to work his way in. Also played by Nigro, unable to keep it alive, but finally on that far side, Brandon Chasen able to knock it off his defender.
Yeah, the defense has been absolutely outstanding for Mass Premier. You know, we saw Simons do work in the semifinal game, and right there he was isolated and turned away. If you can leave a defender on an island like that and they can turn away the best post presence on the offensive team, you're in good shape.
And Chasen finally able to deliver for the Bulls. Gives them their first two of the day. Mass Premier will work it on the outside. Dylan Reno. And now for, looks like Nigro. Rising up for the shot that time was Oftering, but he was hacked from behind. I think getting a piece of him was Devontae McCall.
And now what you'll see from Mass Premier as they adjust a bit is they've hit a few shots early, spacing the floor for them. We'll see if they try to go inside more, a little curl attempt there before that 16, 17-foot attempt. But that should be available to them now. Seams, there's a seam right there, exploited.
Yeah, exploited perfectly by Ryan Bolter, 6'5" player out of Mansfield High School. Able to just slice through everybody and dropping it in off the glass for two. Tough entry pass that time as they were looking for Simons. A couple of subs checking in now for Mass Premier. Timothy Prunier and also Eric Ryan will join the fray now for head coach Michael Wan. Outside it goes. Connor Cronin is checked in, gets it off for Chasen. Simons now trying to work it on the inside. Fadeaway that time will not go for Mullen. Able to haul in the initial rebound was Ryan, and here comes Mass Premier. Nigro works all the way now for Bolter. Inside and won't go. Was getting great inside position that time was Frank Oftering, but just couldn't get it to drop in.
Yeah, was unable to convert, and Jesse Mullen able to stick his nose in, grab that board, which led to the over-the-back call. Mass Bulls will try to get something going here on the offensive end.
Down by 10. It's brought up the floor by McCall. And a little bit too aggressive on the defensive end was Frank Oftering. So it'll be Bulls ball here on the near sideline with Jesse Mullen out of Granby High School. McCall, drop it out for Chasen. Chasen through the lane and trying to draw the contact there, but good defensive positioning out of Eric Ryan.
Jason did everything right there except explode through the contact at the end. He turned the corner, had a head of steam, just continued straight to the goal. Instead, he sort of veered right. Defender was able to come in from the backside and knock that one away. But you have to like the aggressiveness of him on the offensive end.
Here's Simons, little quick jump shot, no good. And able to haul in that rebound was Cameron Seeley. So already Mass Premier able to get in some of their reserves here. And a slice to the hoop and in. Great finish that time out of Ryan Bolter to push the lead up even further. 14-2 Mass Premier all over the Bulls.
All over the Bulls. And what we're seeing, if you take a look at it, Mike, on the offensive end for the Bulls, they're also not getting any second chance point opportunities. One of the reasons why that's happening is because they are very much aware that Mass Premier will run out, get throw-aheads and transition opportunities. So they're not sending as many guys to the glass either. You know, it's tough. It's a pick-your-poison situation right now for the Mass Bulls, and they've got to get something going.
Certainly do. It starts now. They trail by 13. Mullen pulls up for the jumper, too strong. Nigro able to get to that loose ball. As again, they quickly push it up the floor. Ahead it goes Bolter for three, no good. And that rebound secured by Cronin. Quickly ahead now. McCall, spin move to try to get out of trouble. Double team, and Nigro forces the turnover. Up ahead on the break. Here's Prunier. Up and in.
Again, Nigro, active hands, finding a teammate out in transition for the easy deuce. Nigro played for Eric Simonelli, as you said, at LaSalle Academy. 27-2 team this year and won the Class A championship.
Ejected that time as Ryan will turn that shot away again. Mass Premier wasting no time in getting the ball up the floor. Here's Nigro from downtown delivering again. And Mass Premier up 20-2 as they have just been on fire here to start this first half.
Yeah, they hit the ignition switch early, and now they're in overdrive. And this is a team that's playing extremely well.
Bulls forced to call timeout after that drain three from Nigro. And again, it hasn't even been just the starters for Mass Premier. They've been able to go fairly deep on their bench and rotated probably about 9 or 10 deep as they have built this big lead. We take a look at some of the highlights for Mass Premier, and there's that last break.
Yeah, we've seen, run-outs off of turnovers like that one throughout the early going here in the first half. And we've seen, just good, unselfish play on the putt. There's Nigro showing you that he's not only someone who can distribute, but he can also knock down that open jump shot when his feet are set. You like to see that shot taken within the flow. It was right there. On the other side, if you're the Mass Bulls, listen, you're down 20-2. It's an 18-point spread at this point in time. There's no 18-point shot available. You just got to commit to things on both ends of the floor, particularly on the defensive end. See if you can generate some turnovers for yourself, create some runouts, and get some easy scoring opportunities. As we've seen, they've really struggled in the half court. Buckle down, try to scrap and do it with defense. You should be hitting the floor for every single loose ball. Any passing, anything you can do. Hey, this is where effort comes in. You cannot just accept a result at this point early in the game. I'm sure they're not going to do that. We'll see what they have in store this last 9:30.
Yeah, still plenty of time left here in the first half, and I think really important maybe for Mass Bulls to just kind of break this game down to smaller segments, win the next 2 minutes.
Possession at a time.
Yep.
Yeah.
And just try to get it going. But, when they force entry passes like that, making it a little bit too easy for the Mass Premier defense to get their hands on it. As Seeley came away with another steal. That time rolls around no good. And Mullen able to get it back in for McCall.
And there's that hustle we're talking about. Great save, gets his team a shot opportunity down the other end, and they convert.
And Simon's able to deliver the big basket that time for the Mass Bulls. We're trying to climb back into this one. Off to a tough start, but certainly have the skill and potential to get back into this one, Chris.
They do. I mean, they wouldn't be in the championship, if they hadn't gone through some quality competition as they have through this meat grinder of a tournament the entire weekend. So
Prunier picks up the travel there, so another turnover and another opportunity now for the Mass Bulls to cut into what is currently a 16-point deficit. And they'll work it up the floor now through Tanner Gibson. Trying to curl around for him is Nicholas Mallow. McCall trying to work against his man, Oftring. Simons couldn't handle the pass, but McCall there to pick up the garbage. McCall in the lane and in. Pretty little drop shot on the runner from Devontae McCall.
Tough shot by McCall. At first I thought he might try to squeeze it to a teammate, but the window closed, and he wisely was able to rise up and make a very, very difficult shot, sort of fading away, but was within 4 or 5 feet. Pretty play.
I think important to note, only 2 players on the Mass Bulls bench right now, both their co-captains, Chasen and Mullen out there. So this is a team that only runs 7 deep, and that fatigue could be a factor here. As you mentioned, the meat grinder of a tournament. They've already played today, and this is their 4th game over the last 3 days, and these are high-intensity contests. As McCall forces up a wild one, that one won't go.
Yeah, the first one was semi under control. That one, just a forced shot on McCall's part.
Oh, nice cut towards the hoop and the finish that time. Nifty little slide by Dylan Reno out of Franklin.
Nice slide. Also, nice hesitation to throw the shot blocker off, giving him time to squeeze that up and in. Threw off the timing of a would-be shot blocker.
Oh, and making his move to the hoop that time was Tanner Gibson. Got hacked on the way up. He will head to the line for 2. Chance to reduce the 16-point deficit here. 22-6 early on. Just past the midway point of the first half. Gibson's first shot is good. A couple more subs now for Mass Premier, and Michael Vaughn and his coaching staff able to really rotate his guys and keep fresh legs in the ball game. And it's definitely seems to be a little bit of an issue for the Mass Bulls, who only have 2 reserves today.
Yes, it's no secret what the strategy is. Continue to throw fresh, talented bodies at the Mass Bulls, and they're going to have to weather the storm.
Well, and they played a very high tempo offensively. I mean,
they
are
do.
Pushing the ball up the floor at every opportunity. So,
and you can play that when everyone's recharging, which is the MO.
Nigro left alone for now as they work it on the outside. Prunier for the jumper, off the mark. McCall able to seal the rebound off, and he'll bring it up the floor himself. McCall, stutter step off the glass, no good. Second attempt, no good from Gibson. And Nigro there again for Mass Premier. Tried to whip it around to the near side, and bailing him out was his teammate. That's Lehman with the 24 jersey. Nigro. Back around now, Prunier. Gets it rejected there. The double team altered by Gibson. Cronin pulls up the dribble, now finds Simons. Quick jumper is good.
Friendly roll.
Shooter's touch that time for the big man,
and
Kevin Simons.
Yeah, and Gibson continues to do it, excuse me, Mike, sorry about that, on both ends of the floor. Seen him make a couple free throws, mix it up offensively. Nice shot block leading to another possession for his team and a knockdown shot by Simons, his second in the last 4 minutes or so.
Now 3-ball attempt from Geis. That one well off the mark, too strong. Gibson another rebound. As the Bulls slowly but surely climbing back in this one. Gibson forces up a tough shot, man, right in his face. Gets it to go. And all of a sudden, it's just an 11-point game.
Yeah, you've got to tip your cap to Gibson right there. That was an extremely difficult shot. He was under control the whole time, but still blanketed and able to get that to fall.
It seemed that he had made his decision what he was going to do. And
yeah, got to his
spot.
Was
able to execute. McCall right into some trouble as Nigro hustling back for Mass Premier. Nigro now pushes it over for Oftring. 3-ball again, no good. But kept alive. Nigro now back around for Oftring. Skip pass. Prunier for 3. Too strong. Geis the rebound. And Geis able to draw contact as he tried to elevate.
And you cannot fault the looks that Mass Premier is getting. They got 2 more clean looks on this last possession. just unable to knock the jumpers down, but the looks are there.
And gonna have a push on Simons on that entry pass. So it'll stay with Mass Premier. Nigro slashing towards the hoop. Had it deflect off of his leg as he tried to put up the shot.
Good quick hands off Nigro's knee. And the Bulls continue to hang in.
Nicholas Mallow now keeps the dribble alive, trying to find some space. And never going to get that shot off with Geis all over him. Nigro now in transition, quickly ahead. Lehman, the left-handed finish and in.
Good look ahead and a quality finish by Lehman to keep that ball in the left hand.
And Mass Premier getting it done in transition. Here's Simons, the little bunny, he gets it to go.
Simons almost a little casual with that layup, but friendly roll, spins in for him.
Was able to get himself in great position there for the hoop. Nigro back up top, Prunier, nice job to keep it alive and has it deflect off of Tanner Gibson. And the subs keep coming, checking in now. Stephen Gagne out of Bishop Fian. First time we've seen him today. Prunier. Back around now for Bolter. Prunier gets it back. Under 4 minutes to play here, 11-point game. NEAAU Super Regional Championship for the 11th graders this afternoon in Foxborough, Massachusetts. Prunier, back for Nigro.
Mass Premier a little disjointed here against the zone. Have to crack that thing from the inside out or get behind it. Content to pass it around the perimeter. Results in them not getting a shot off. Bulls will head the other way.
Nifty little defensive play that time out of Tanner Gibson. Active hands was able to deflect it off of Gagne. Floater that time from Mullen, no good though, and Gagne able to haul in the board. Here comes Nigro, quickly ahead. Pace pushed one more time, chasing though. Off the loose ball, chasing, trying to go coast to coast, left it short. And last touched by Cronin.
I'll tell you what, Mike, I'll give Chase some credit. When he gets the ball in his hands and he's gonna go, he's gonna go. He puts that thing on the deck and he goes hard to the hole.
Fortunately, just left it a little bit short on a couple of shots here today.
He's starting his elevation a bit early. He needs to take one more dribble.
3 ball no good from Gagne, and Gibson there again for the Bulls. Gibson saw a little daylight, tried to take it. Second attempt might have gone in off the hands of his teammate Connor Cronin.
Good crash, offensive boards. Again, the little things that get you back in the game. Miss the initial shot, stick with it, perseverance, those second chance points.
And the lead now down to single digits, exactly where you want it to be after the start that the Mass Bulls had. Surely wanted to climb back in right before the half. As ahead now, Nigro trying to break down his man. Gibson left-handed layup, no good. And good seal out there on the block by Cronin. And a tough dribble. They're going to say last touched by Bolter that time.
Goes to show you the versatility of Bolter matched up against the guard on the perimeter. Moved his feet. Guard got nothing.
Mullen couldn't connect on that offering.
Not bad for a 6'5" guy.
Quickly ahead to the far corner, Bolter back outside, now Nigro. Under 2 minutes to play here. So try to find Bolter again. Slice to the hoop and in. Ryan Bolter able to deliver.
Angles of affection, tough kiss off the glass on that bucket.
Mullen trying to find some space to turn around. Bit of a wild one that time, some contact on the rebound attempt. As it'll be a Mass Premier ball again, checking out one of those little slick spots.
Yeah, and we've seen that spot, right in that general area, Mike, as an issue.
Previous games today?
Previous games, yeah, a couple of the semifinals, and then I believe one time. So to continue to keep an eye on that.
So under a minute and a half left here in the first half. The Bulls continue to try to climb back. That rebound will certainly help from Jesse Mullen, one of the co-captains of this Mass Bulls team. Long range three that time, well shot from Mallow.
Yeah, a little quick, not what you need when you're trying to climb back into it.
Nigro leaves it off for Bolter. The floater through the lane and one. All the Bulls trying to find out who had the foul, but won't really matter at this point as Bolter will head to the line for the old-fashioned three.
Another nice play by Bolter. We've seen him make plays off the dribble going to both his left and now his right.
He's played well on both ends of the floor so far today for Mass Premier.
Good long strides down there and a soft touch when he gets in and around the glass and rim area.
Gibson quickly down to the other end. Three ball now from Mullen, no good. And who's there for the rebound? Ryan Bolter. Bolter dominating over the course of the last couple of minutes here in the first half. 40 seconds left, 14-point lead for Mass Premier. Nigro trying to add to that, but turns it over as Gibson comes away with it. Turns it right back over though. And a travel violation is
eyes lit up.
Cameron Sealy saw the daylight ahead of him, but his feet got the best of him that time as he picked up the travel with just 25 seconds left. Gibson and the Mass Bulls trying to get one last hoop before the break here.
And this would be big for them. I mean, this is a team that was down 20-2 in this basketball game.
And that was with 9 minutes left.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. With about 9:30 left.
And out of bounds on Chasen as he's getting down and dirty for that one. The hustle play right at center court on the sideline, but unfortunately for him, he was out of bounds when he touched it. So 7 seconds now, and now a chance for a possible dagger for Mass Premier. They have shown some skill from the outside today. Can they do it again in the final 7 seconds? Nigro will have the ball in his hands.
It's the guy they want making decisions.
And finds the seam, lays it in right before the buzzer.
And there's a decision right there. Mass Bulls so worried about the potential penetrate and kick out. Nigro saw the seam, knew what to do.
Yeah, very heady play there by Nigro with the ball in his hand, 7 seconds to make the decision. Saw that nobody open on the perimeter, and they really left it wide open for him in the lane, and he certainly made them pay.
Yeah, if they're going to cover up the shooters, then there's going to be a one-on-one situation for you, and he was able to take advantage of that.
So at the break, Mass Premier 31, the Mass Bulls 15 here in the New England AAU Super Regional 11th grade championship game. We'll be back with the second half here on Cox Sports. And welcome back to Mass Premier Courts here in Foxborough, Massachusetts, site of the New England AAU Super Regionals. We're in the 11th grade championship game at the break where Mass Premier leads 31-15. We'll take a look, though, as the Bulls had been down by as many as 20-2, but McCall helping to get the comeback going on that layup there. And then it was Simons backing up for the little jumper, a little shot put kind of shot, and able to rattle it in, get the shooter's roll to make it 22-9 at that point. Gibson then with a tough jumper, able to further cut down that lead. And again, it was about 9.5 minutes left in the first half. The Bulls were down 20-2, and they mounted their comeback. They got to as close as 24-15. However, Mass Premier able to close out the first half with a 7-0 run. Bolter was taking over, able to draw contact and one there. He did make the free throw as well. And then just before time expired, Nigro racing down the middle to make it 31-15, Chris. And, you know, Mass Premier jumped out to that huge lead, and we saw that the Bulls had to expend a lot of energy in getting back into this one. And always so hard, I think, for any team once you have to use all that energy to kind of get it back to striking distance to keep that going. As we see right off the bat here in the second half, Mass Premier,
Bolter again.
Another bucket.
100% agree, Mike. You spend so much energy climbing that mountain, and you have to credit the Bulls for really taking it possession by possession and going on that run. But then a little run of their own in reserve by Mass Premier at the end of the half, and then come out and hit that ever-important first bucket in the second half. We'll see how the Bulls respond.
Now Gibson able to take it baseline that time, drew some contact, earns a trip to the line for two. And one thing you really have to mention here, Chris, Mass Bowls with just 2 reserves for this game, whereas Mass Premier has a full complement of 5 guys suited up, and everybody has really played for Mass Premier so far today. And, these teams did both